Hello, custom car enthusiasts, and welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. So we've got our next vehicle here for the story mission, so let's see what we got. Hello, my SUV is great on-road, but I feel that I shouldn't abuse it off-road. So I saved up a bit and got something special from a friend of mine. That thing should be well suited for some crazy off-roading. I hope I can really push it just like the previous owner did. See what needs to be fixed and change that awful interior. It doesn't go with my style. Alright. Have never done an interior before, so this is going to be interesting. Let's see. Oh, we've got a drive axle that needs to be replaced. So that's going to be an interesting one. All right. Yeah, the axles are shot. Let's go back to moving the car here. Let's take it to the test path. Can't start the engine. All right, so we're not going to take it there. Let's go ahead and move it to car lifter A. Oh, all right. So we've got quite a bit wrong here. All right, let's go ahead and plan on pulling this engine out. So we're gonna need that over at our location. And let's just take off pretty much the entire underside of this vehicle, because all this seems to need either fixing or replacing. So with this one, we're gonna do pretty much a full rebuild here on the bottom. No, I did not want that. Fine, I'll take this. There we go. Yeah, as I said, pretty much all of this is going to need to be replaced or repaired here. Not checking the fuel pump and stuff because I haven't had a reason to, but it does concern me slightly. You know what? I'm going to take it off. We're going to basically take off the entire bottom of this car, and that way we can hopefully repair as much as we possibly can. He's going to get a vehicle back that's pretty much good as new, hopefully without most of it having to be replaced. It's just so much here needs work. It's just easier to take everything off and fix the parts as need be. That was not what I was wanting. Rubber bushings are always the biggest pain in the butt. You know what? Since we're here, have a feeling that this is going to be a very big expense bill here on all the parts that need to be replaced in the end. But I guess we shall see. All right. I will say by the time I'm done with this vehicle will be good to go as far as going off-road because it's going to be perfectly set up. Alright, we did have oil in the engine, which is a good start. And since we're doing everything else, let's go ahead and even take that stuff out. Looked alright, but you know what? Might as well take it and just be sure. Alright, let's go ahead and move that back. Let's go ahead and put the engine here. Hey, it's already pre-rotated for me. I like that. Engine definitely needed work. It's gonna be a big expense for him, but you know what? This is fine. Alright, so that's good there. Keep getting the engine. That is the one thing, is this stand is a pain sometimes to get to turn where you want it to. Yeah, throttle needed to come off. Fuel filter did. Fuel rails do. Looks like the heads themselves need some work. Definitely does not look like this is going to be a cheap fix for him. Or exactly a fast one for me. But people have asked me to do builds like this all in one episode, so I am going to do as you have asked. We are going to make this all in one episode, even though it's going to be a lot of work to go on here. And I know some of it is I made more work for myself, but you know what? I'm happy with that. Alright, before I get too involved in this, I'm going to go over here. I want to make sure, yeah, see, I want to get rid of these things into my warehouse, so that way they're not cluttering up my list here. Perfect. Alright. Also, since we're over here, let's go ahead and take these apart. And we're going to need to go ahead and separate these as well. Alright, so we got all those separated now. So we'll be able to repair the rims and such as well. Just going to try to repair as much as possible. I just don't know how well that's going to really work in the end. You know what? Let's start on the front here. That was not what I wanted. There we go. Get all these rollers and such off. Really, the time shopping on this episode is going to be my longest one, I would say. Because I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of parts that are not repairable, and I'm just going to need to go purchase new ones for. There we go. Now with all that stuff out of the way, makes the rest of the disassembly a bit easier. Alright. Everything is taken off. Now let's go ahead and see what we can repair. I'm actually really surprised and pleased with the amount of parts that we've been able to salvage, including the engine block here. That was a whole bunch. I mean, there are definitely still parts that need to be replaced, but it's a lot less than I thought it was going to be. Interesting that one engine head could be repaired, the other one could not. Alright, let's go by name here, and I'm going to step away and go ahead and work on repairing all of these parts. It's going to take a little, or getting all of these parts. Once I have them all, we'll go ahead and start with the reassembly. Alright, and we're back, and even with all the parts that I was able to repair, that was expensive, and it took almost half an hour in order to get all the parts that we needed. So yeah, it took a bit there, but that's alright. We'll go ahead and install all these parts now. Make sure that it's all in here perfectly. We are still, I did do a brief check while I was away there, and I did notice that we're still missing one item that needs to be looked at and replaced. And I'm wondering if that's the interior. Because you did mention the interior. Never done an interior before, but I guess we can take that out here in a little bit and see exactly what happens with it. But yeah, this is going to be a pricey bill here at the end. I mean, it doesn't really impact me much because I've got over $500,000 in the bank there. So I can easily purchase all the parts. And I mean, in-game, I have over $500,000. As you can see over there, 607,000. In real life, I could only dream of having $500,000. If anybody has $500,000 that you're not needing for some reason and would love to share it, I am definitely willing to accept such a charity, but no, I'm just kidding. It's one of those that, yes, I do dream of having that kind of money someday, but currently, I'm just going to keep working hard and working the best I can to earn it. It's all we can do, I think, really, in life. Alright. So we're good to go there. Let's go ahead and rotate the engine again. And now we can get back to it here. Let's go ahead and put the blocks on. One of them's new, one of them's just rebuilt. We can put the intake manifold in place. Might as well do that. Get those fuel rails in, sure. Alright. Get these timing belts in. Basically, I'd like to get the front of this done. As it's the part that's got the most little bits to add on to it. Put the power steering pump while we're over here. Water pump. Alright, get the belt tensioner in there. So the first of the belts is on. Get the second belt in place. There we go. Alright, and get that idle roller put in to hold it in place. Good to go there. Let's head over here, put in this exhaust manifold. And even once we get all of this rebuilt, this is just the first part because we still have to put wheels back onto rims, balance them. We still got to get the shocks rebuilt. We got to put in everything on the underneath of the vehicle. So we still have quite a bit to do here. But you know what? That's alright. We will get it done in this episode. Really just is leaving me with the question mark of what exactly is it that I have to do for the interior? Like, I know how to button up an engine here pretty well, I'd say. You know, one thing I just realized is there is no wiring harness on this engine. Shouldn't there have been? We definitely have different wiring harnesses. I mean, I'm gonna buy this and see about putting it on. See what happens here. No, evidently it does not need this wiring harness. That is unique. I could have sworn it would. Alright, well let's go ahead and take this off. We'll move this over to car lifter A. Head over here. Get the first of the tires put on. Get that one taken. Alright, so that should be the last of the tires there. While that's working. For some reason I can't use that right now. Bit odd, maybe because I have so many other things open. There we go. That allowed me to do it, so let's see. Alright, so we got to put in the starter still. As I said, we've got this part right here that I'm not sure about. go ahead and put that away. There we go. We'll get that one going. Let's get in here. Alright, that should be everything under the hood there. Let's get it up in the air. And let's start adding in everything that's needed. Always like to start with these rubber bushings, just because gets them out of my way then. Sway bar in place, steering rack in place, front drive axle in place. Let's go with the tie rod on that side, tie rod on that side, the knuckle, the outer tie rod to put it attached. I mean, everything on the underneath here is pretty much as good as it can be. So the only thing I can think of is it's the interior that he had sort of mentioned, because everything else is good to go. All these tires are the same size, so it doesn't really matter which one I put on. There we go. Get that put in place. Transfer case. Do love all the shiny new metal on it. All right. That's all set. Start working our way back along here. Alright, that side's all set up. There's that. So now he should have all he needs for some outdoor fun with no issues. And we took off everything on this vehicle pretty much except for the interior. Yep, we have the one mystery part left. We also have to change the oil on it. Whoop. Oh, we have the front end sway bars. Definitely need those put on. Just gonna sell those. I always forget about sway bars. That's why I do like checking my storage there afterwards to see what I may have forgotten. Alright, let's go ahead and lower her down. Let's move her. Yeah, we're just going to put her over here. We can do the oil over here easy enough. There we go. Alright, that's good to go. Alright, let's take these pieces out. That was not the part. Yeah, these are all pretty good. Can I touch them up at all? Sort of curious about that. Huh. Alright, well let's go ahead and put them back in. I honestly have no idea what the part could be. Let's run our tests on it. I mean, everything should come out fine now because we've pretty much replaced everything in it. Yeah, everything's good there. Tires are okay, not great, but okay. You know, I just thought about what we didn't do. I just figured it out while I was sitting in this exact position. I didn't deal with the air cover unit here. It's probably the air filter. I was all struggling over it. It was something simple. I got thrown off because of the fact that they had talked about the interior. Yeah, that air filter needs to go. Let's take it all out. Let's repair what we can. Because might as well make it as nice as possible. Alright, then we're going to need a new air filter, I believe. Yep, that's what it was. I was thinking wiring harness, because I didn't see a wiring harness at all for this vehicle. Maybe just because of the style of the engine. I mean, I'm sure it still would have a wiring harness in real life, but just the way they have it in the game, maybe it doesn't. Brand new air filter. The case back together, all shiny and new looking, along with its nicely refurbished clips. So now the car is pretty much perfect in every way. Other than it needs some new tires, but you know what? That's something he can do on his own. It cost a lot of money here. We spent almost $15,000 on this car. He owes us $36,000, so wow. But that was a good one. I liked it. Get rid of this air filter that caused me so much issue. Alright. So with that, we're going to go ahead and end this episode here. Next episode, we'll probably take on some other vehicles here. That one needs its shocks replaced. Oh, that's alright. Oh, a little Lotus Elise. That's sort of a nicety there. Alright. Lots of neat cars here and such. I love the ones that I get to paint now. But for now, we're going to go ahead and end things here. If you enjoyed the episode, please go ahead and click that like button. If you've not already, please subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, so that you're aware when I produce new videos in the future. Thank you, and I hope to see you all back for more Car Mechanic Simulator 2018.